Thank you, Alan. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. The question is, what am I going to talk about today? And it seemed to make sense at the end of Phase 2 to talk about the beginning of Phase 3. And I'm going to spend just a few minutes talking about the first two films we have coming up next year in Phase 3. The first one that I'm going to talk about today is called Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is a project that we've been working on since before the inception of the MCU. The goal of these films is always to continue to expand what a comic book film is, what a Marvel Cinematic Universe film is, and starting a couple years ago with Guardians of the Galaxy, this year with Ant-Man, next year with Doctor Strange, continuing to push the boundaries of that cinematic universe. A fellow named Benedict Cumberbatch is playing Doctor Strange. He sent a little greeting just for you guys.
Hello, D23. Oh no, wrong film. It's Benedict Cumberbatch here. I'm very, very, very lucky and very excited to be taking on Doctor Strange from Marvel. And I know you guys are going to get a little early look at some of the work that's already been done on it today. He's an extraordinary character and brings in a whole other dimension, multiple dimensions to the Marvel universe.
The first film in Phase 3 comes out next May, and it's called Captain America: Civil War. This film, the third in the Captain America series, which I believe is going to be one of the most unique trilogies of all time. You met him for the first time in Captain America: The Winter Soldier, Sam Wilson, the Falcon himself, Anthony Mackie. Thank you.
Good to see you, man. Thank you for having me, Kev.
Of course,
really
thanks for coming out here.
Everybody, thank y'all for being here. Doctor Strange looks crazy, right? I mean, that's amazing. That's amazing. But we're here at D23. Thank you guys for having me. We flew all the way from Germany last night, so I'm a little tired. But I made it. But y'all know I'm not the only person to come and introduce Captain America: Civil War, right? I can't come introduce the Civil War without Captain America. That was good. How are you like that? You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Hello. Is this Hello.
We're standing.
All right. Hi, everybody.
Oh, keep it. Oh, we're here all day. We're here all day.
Oh man, I'm so happy to be here. I'm a big Disney fan. You know, my whole family. We grew up loving Disney. That was the place we all wanted to go as kids. And to this day, that's that's my idea of heaven. And it's an amazing experience to be somehow in any capacity involved with them, to be a part of that family. If I'm having a bad day, I go online and just watch. Like, I watch other people's home movies. Like, I'm on YouTube just watching other people's experience at Disney. It's a really fantastic.
And then we go in our trailer and sing the Frozen theme song together.
I'm honored to be here. And if you think we would come this far without actually having some footage
Did you bring
to
some
show
pictures?
you,
Yeah.
Nice.
you'd be crazy.
We cut this together on our computers. It's
it
really
was
rough.
Last minute.
It was.
We learned iMovie on the plane.
We were on set, and I was like, Chris, we need to take our phones, record this, and then bring it to D23 with us.
But I think we did a good job.
It looks pretty good.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you so much, Alan, and it is wonderful to be here at D23 with all of you. Thank you for being here. Couldn't be more excited. I'd like to begin today with a story of incredible heroism. A rescue in the North Atlantic over 50 years ago that is still, to this day, one of the most daring rescues in the history of the seas. In theaters on January 29, 2016, this is the story of The Finest Hours. The film is directed by Craig Gillespie, who did Lars and the Real Girl and $1 Million Arm, and it has an amazing cast. Chris Pine, Casey Affleck, Holliday Grainger, Eric Bana, and Ben Foster. Please welcome Chris Pine.
1,000 people? Good Lord. Thank you so very much for having me. Thank you. This is nearly 8,000 people.
It's a big room.
I am shell-shocked.
It's a big room.
This is not a world of explosions and fast, crazy cars and incredible technology. This was a wooden boat in 70-foot seas with zero navigation, a boat that was only capable of holding 12 people at most, that inevitably in zero blackout weather was able to hold 32 men and take them back to shore. And it's an incredible story.
Please welcome to the stage, Jon Favreau.
All right. I was born in '66. This movie came out in '67. I grew up with these characters. And what was nice for me is that Alan, he grew up with the book. So we both had different perspectives on something that we both cared deeply about. And as we all sat and talked about it and developed it, finding the balance between the iconic, mythic power of the Kipling and all of the images that I loved growing up with from the animated feature, it was how do you combine those things? And most importantly, how do you use today's technology to take it to a different place than the film that already exists? How do you build upon that legacy? But I figured it's D23, we got to come down here and maybe even bring some cast members for you to see.
Speaking of great artists, let's do that.
So we got a few. I'd like to introduce, playing Bagheera, Ben Kingsley. We also have Lupita Nyongo, who plays Raksha. And finally, our Discovery first movie, playing Mowgli, Neil Sethi. Give him a warm D23 welcome.
May I start by saying that when I was Neil's age, I probably heard for the first time "When You Wish Upon a Star," and something inside me popped with a kind of recognition. And it's been a long journey, but thanks, John, and thanks, Disney, for helping a little boy's dream come true. I'm now part of that which moved me as a child so much. And it's great to make a contribution to the wonderful world of Disney that we all love and inhabit.
First of all, I just want to say this is my first time at Disneyland, so it means a lot to me. I grew up, my mom had a dream board of things she wanted to achieve and accomplish for her family, and one of them was to bring us to Disneyland. She didn't necessarily bring me here, so I'm here for her. Thank you.
And here's our first look at the poster.
So we always have to answer the question, what's an idea that warrants a return? The wonderful screenwriter Linda Wolverton, who wrote the 2010 Alice, as well as The Lion King, the original Beauty and the Beast, and more recently Maleficent, came up with an unusual, she's wonderful, Linda, such a wonderful writer and creator. She came up with an unusual, very underlandian adventure that brings back all of the characters that we love and also introduces some wonderful new characters and ideas in Alice Through the Looking Glass. Mia Wasikowska returns as Alice alongside Johnny Depp, new Disney legend, as the Mad Hatter. Helena Bonham Carter as the Red Queen. And Anne Hathaway as the White Queen. And this time, we meet the character of Time himself, played by none other than Sacha Baron Cohen. Recently returned from her adventures in Underland, I am very pleased to introduce Alice herself, Mia Wasikowska.
I grew up watching all of them, so I have such an affection for them. And it's been almost 6 years since we did the last film, so to be able to kind of reunite with Helena and Johnny and Annie, and it was lovely, and we all get along really well, so it was just really fun.
Now, the last film I'm going to talk to you about today is from one of the biggest series of films at the studio. And these are some of my all-time favorites, and in my opinion, they are unlike any other franchise out there in terms of adventure, comedy, drama, and their ability to transport viewers to another world. They are singular in tone and scope and spectacle. Arriving in July of 2017, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. It is an incredible return to the world of Captain Jack Sparrow with the one and only Johnny Depp back in one of the most iconic film roles of the 21st century. This time, we see the resilient, resourceful, seemingly indestructible, but as usual, down on his luck Jack come face to face with a terrifying new adversary in Captain Salazar. This unearthly foe is played by the incomparable Javier Bardem. We will also, of course, see Jack square off against his old frenemy, Captain Barbossa, with the return of the great Geoffrey Rush. And we have some very exciting new additions to the cast, including a young man named Henry, played by Brenton Thwaites, and a brilliant young scientist, Karina, played by Kaya Scodelario, who are seeking a treasure that has the power to unlock an eternal curse. And there's another character in this tale and in this franchise that we think the audience particularly loves seeing Jack interact with, a character we haven't seen in a little while. We've asked him to come back, and for D23, I want to officially announce that Will Turner, played by Orlando Bloom, will return. We wanted to welcome out the one and only brand new Disney legend, Johnny Depp, Captain Jack Sparrow. Ladies and gentlemen, Jack Sparrow, D23.
I just want to talk about some of our new cast. It's pretty incredible. We've got John Boyega, we've got Oscar Isaac, we have Daisy Ridley, and apparently someone who is legally required to be in every Disney movie, Lupita Nyongo. You guys want to see him? Our cast, John, Oscar, Daisy, and Lupita, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing? Come on.
I know the fans of Star Wars, you know the name Drew Struzan. And he's an amazing artist, and he designed all the posters for the Star Wars movies. And apparently he's designed an exclusive D23 poster. And yeah. You know what I'm gonna just throw in there? I think you guys can get one each. I think you're all gonna go. How about that?
And that is great. A free poster is always cool, but the weird thing for me is that there's one person in the poster who's not on stage. You want to see it? Ladies and gentlemen, Harrison Ford!
I am delighted to be here now with JJ and this wonderful cast, and with Disney, who has supported this effort in a really extraordinary way, and will continue to do so, I'm quite sure. So it's a great thrill to be here with you, who made this whole thing happen, and I couldn't be happier. Thank you so much.